Tonight you're stepping into the unknown, deep in the forest where shadows whisper and every crack in the leaves might just be something watching. This is 2 hours of raw, uncut forest footage, real chills, real mysteries, and moments you'll question if you should keep watching, if you dare. Stay with me as we journey through the darkest corners of the wild. Let's dive in. In October of 2024, a YouTuber named Tyson uploaded a harrowing video titled "Survived the Deadliest Storm" on his channel, Tyson Peers. Tyson's channel is dedicated to travel, outdoor survival, and bushcraft, where he shares his experiences living off the grid and testing his skills in nature. However, on this particular day, Tyson's survival training was put to the ultimate test. The video begins with Tyson, his younger brother, and his friend working together to construct what Tyson calls a Viking turf house survival hut in the wilderness of Hawkesbury, Ontario, Canada. The trio is deep in the wilderness, far from any immediate help, and focused on completing their project. The atmosphere is calm, with the group laughing and working hard to bring their vision to life. But the mood quickly shifts when Tyson receives an urgent weather warning on his phone.
Mobile coverage area, take cover immediately if threatening.
Well, I'm going.
Holy...
What the hell? Oh my god.
Holy shit!
I'm going.
Oh, je pense qu'il y a une tornade.
Non, oui, pardon.
On peut pas se sauver, c'est d'être là. Check!
Ah, je suis sauvé.
Check!
Qu'est-ce que t'en fais?
Elle s'en vient, reste en dedans.
Non, non, non.
En dedans, en dedans. Non, on peut pas, il est trop tard. En dedans. Reste en dessous! Tornado! Tornado! Stay low! Stay low! Stay low! Stay low! Stay! Stay! Stay! Stay low!
Is it leaving?
No! Stay! Stay! Stay low, buddy! Stay! Stay! Stay! Stay! Stay! Laissez-moi pas! Laissez-moi pas! Laissez-moi pas! Stay low! No, no, we're good, we're good, we're good! Fuck!
No, we're dying. We're dying. We're dying.
No, stay, stay, stay!
Fuck.
Shit, bro!
Fuck. Oh my god. Ice.
Stay, stay!
Stay, Miguel.
Stay! Stay!
We're gonna wait.
Holy shit!
Ice, please, don't make me.
C'est good, on est good!
On est good? Oui, sir. 100%, sir.
Please, God, please, please!
God, s'il vous plaît.
S'il vous plaît!
Oh my god, no.
Stay low! Stay low! Stay low! Stay, stay!
No.
Holy
Tyson, please.
Stay, stay! Stay, stay, stay, stay! Please, God, please!
God, please. Sorry. S'il vous plaît.
C'est good, on est good, on est good, on est good, on est good!
On est bon.
On est good! On est good! On est correct! On est correct, guys! On est good! On est good! S'il vous plaît, s'il vous plaît! S'il vous plaît! S'il vous plaît, Paul! Please go!
With no time to evacuate, Tyson and his group decide to take shelter inside the partially completed Viking hut, relying on its stability to protect them. The storm arrives quickly, and the storm finally subsides. Tyson and his group emerge from the shelter to assess the damage. The surrounding forest is unrecognizable, with massive trees uprooted and scattered across the ground. Miraculously, the Viking hut remains standing, a testament to Tyson's craftsmanship and survival skills. Tyson returns to the site a few 2 days later to further assess the damage and reflect on the experience. As they explore the area, the group discovers their bikes buried under one of the fallen trees. To their relief, the bikes are undamaged, adding a small moment of joy to an otherwise terrifying experience.
Good spot. My bike.
I'm waiting.
This chilling encounter serves as a powerful reminder of the unpredictability of nature and the importance of preparation and resilience in the face of danger. Tyson's Viking hut not only withstood the storm, but also became a symbol of survival and ingenuity in the wilderness.
Let's go. Let's go.
Something must see God. Thank you, God.
Stop that, man.
Thanks to you, man.
This unsettling camping story comes from the YouTube channel Slabdog, which is usually known for funny and light-hearted content. But on the 20th of June 2014, things took a much darker turn. The channel's creator, out camping with his kids at Humble Park in Omaha, Nebraska, ended up recording something that left his viewers stunned and his own family completely shaken. The day had started off great, with laughs, bonding, and some much-needed time in nature. But once night fell, the mood changed. While out on a walk with a few of the kids' friends, they noticed something strange deep in the woods, faint candlelight flickering between the trees. Out of curiosity, they decided to check it out. What they found wasn't just odd, it was deeply disturbing.
Candles? Here, let's check it out. No bullshit. Come on. Come on down here with me. Come here. Guys, come on. Guys, check it out. Come here. Come down here with me right now. There's a blood trail and a t-shirt. There's a bloody t-shirt. Whoa, whoa, wait a minute. Where? Where? Where? What tree? Which one? Where? Which one? This one here?
There was a blood-stained white shirt laid out on the ground, surrounded by lit candles, almost like some kind of setup. And then, just behind one of the trees, they spotted something even worsy person dressed in a white robe standing completely still.
Where? Go, go. I just saw him. Go. Don't fall off the stairs. Oh shit, get your flashlight, hurry.
The father grabbed the kids and ran. They didn't stop until they were safely away from the scene.
After reporting what they saw to the campground staff, they were told everything was probably fine, but the images of that night kept haunting them. Not wanting to take any chances, they packed up and left immediately, and just when they thought they were finally safe, something else happened.
It's real. Back it up. Back.
Go!
I'm trying to back up. I can't. I'm gonna crash. Take me back to the trees. It's not
Open! Close the window!
What did he have in his hand, guys?
As they were driving away in the dark, a figure appeared in the middle of the road. The father acted fast, backing the car up to avoid a second encounter. They got away unharmed, but whatever they saw out there clearly wasn't just imagination. The footage was later uploaded to the Slabdog channel without any explanation, and since then, no one's ever posted an update. No one knows who that robed figure was, or if there were more hiding nearby. Whether it was some twisted prank, or something far more sinister, we may never know. This right here is Megan, who in September of 2024 uploading a disturbing video titled Attacked in the Woods in her channel Megan Page. Her channel focuses on her everyday lifestyle, where she frequently shares her personal experiences and life updates as she travels across the United States. In this video, Megan recounts a terrifying encounter she had while decompressing in the woods near her hometown of Humboldt, California. Megan begins the video by updating her viewers about her current struggles. To cope with the stress, she started spending hours in the woods to decompress. On this particular day, Megan was enjoying the beauty of the forest, but little did she know she's about to encounter something truly disturbing.
when I got home from the psychiatric facility, there were cockroaches in my bed. Can you believe that? So that's why I'm in Humboldt, staying at my dad's again, and it's really bad. Every day we've been scream fighting. And then I come to the woods for like 4 hours and decompress. And then I go back home, and then he acts like nothing happens. Like a true narcissist. Like the true narcissist here. Scared me.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sweetheart, don't worry.
Okay, I'm
You're
sorry.
probably more dangerous than me. You're probably more evil than me. Look at the right there, you're saying. You're bomb. Little stoner.
Okay, that was terrifying.
It's unclear whether the man truly intended to harm Megan, but his behavior raises serious concerns. He initially approached her while holding what looks like a broken bottle, which could have been used as a weapon. However, when he noticed that Megan was recording, he quickly changed his tone, offering excuses and trying to appear non-threatening. Megan, trusting her instincts, wisely chose to leave the area immediately. Fortunately, the man did not follow her, and Megan was able to make it out of the woods safely. Her quick thinking and decision to distance herself likely prevented the situation from escalating further, while the man's true intentions remain unknown. Megan's experience serves as a chilling reminder of the importance of staying vigilant, even in places that seem peaceful and safe.
What the fuck? And then he's like, you're probably more scary than me. Your dark hair on your veins. Like, sir, I'm just this cute stoner trying to smoke my weed.
A man was out exploring the wilderness in Utah near Payson Canyon, hoping to capture some beautiful shots of nature. He was filming the river, the trees, and the peaceful surroundings, just doing what photographers do. But then he heard something moving in the woods nearby. Curious, he lifted his camera, thinking he might catch sight of a deer or some other animal. Instead, he caught something far stranger on film. A large black figure walking through the trees. Some viewers think he might have recorded Bigfoot, and honestly it's not impossible. The figure does look big and kind of hairy, but even when slowed down and zoomed in, the video doesn't reveal any clear details. It could just as easily have been a person wandering the woods, maybe out foraging or hiking without realizing they were on camera. It's always interesting how these sightings seem to capture what looks like a male Bigfoot. We never really see a female version, which makes you wonder why. Maybe that's why these creatures are always alone in the woods. Who knows? In the end, it's hard to say for sure what was really caught on camera that day. Was it Bigfoot or just a random hiker? In November 2024, a YouTuber named Elle uploaded a chilling video documenting his solo camping experience on his channel, Hell Adventure. Elle's channel focuses on paranormal investigations and urban exploration, often putting himself in dangerous situations to capture evidence of supernatural phenomena. In this particular video, he ventures to a remote forest path connecting two villages, a shortcut that locals avoid using after dark. According to local legends, this particular stretch of road is frequently visited by the apparition of a woman who appears to travelers at night. Elle begins his journey by traveling through muddy terrain on his motorcycle. The path is treacherous, with slippery conditions making the ride dangerous. Upon arriving at his destination in the forest at night, Elle immediately sets up his tent as he establishes his campsite. That's when his camera captures something truly disturbing.
Dan tadi itu sebenarnya saya dikagetkan oleh seperti ada yang melintas, teman-teman. Jadi kamera itu saya pasang dulu, kemudian saya on kan, itu masih aman guys, gak ada apa-apa. Saya cuman cari angel yang bagus gitu. Pas saya lewat teman-teman, seperti ada yang melintas. Kaget dan dilaleki pas tikungan lunyu guys, masa Allah. Jadi saya langsung gak ada gamelannya gitu guys ya. Wah, kita biarkan dulu. Wah, ini baru jam 8. Mungkin memang suara musik dari bawah ya guys ya.
While journey to the site, El mentioned something disturbing that happened earlier. He saw something or someone crossing his path. This encounter was enough to startle him and contributed to his motorcycle accident. As El continues explaining the history of the forest path, something chilling occurs that he doesn't notice. A white figure silently walks behind his tent, coinciding with the sound of a woman humming. The camera captures this eerie movement, but Elle remains oblivious to the presence. Instead of acknowledging anything supernatural, Elle dismisses the sounds, assuming they're coming from the nearby village.
Nah, kok ada seorang wanita misalnya gitu, ini gimana guys kalau kalian yang berada di posisi ini, misal kalian lewat sini, terus di tengah jalan itu ono wong melaku, ada orang melintas, wong astagfirullah itu kamu bapak kaget apa guys, godong ya guys, godong jati kayak itu. Kita lanjutkan. Jika kalian melewati ini, seumpama ini perumpamaan, terus ada wanita walaupun cantiknya kaya ngopo, tapi nang tengah ngalas guys, bagaimana perasaan kalian? Tetep ngeri toh? Lah mbok wudo kae tetep mesti wedi guys. Wis mikir kayak ayu, wis ora mikir kayak wudo, tetep langsung ikut guys. Tapi kalau orang-orang sini itu sudah hal biasa teman-teman. Makanya saya dapat informasi seperti itu langsung gas. Sopo ngerti jackpot, misal jackpot itu ya udah sing menakutkan, serem gitu guys ya. Soalnya kalau sing wong ayu, melenis, mulus gitu loh. Demit lanang medeni galak. Ini kan wis marem guys. Siapa tahu malam ini kita itu dapat jackpot yang agak-agak seksi gitu teman-teman. Padahal saya ini cuma bercanda guys untuk menghilangkan suasana yang horor gitu teman-teman ya. Memang kita itu ya sambil cerita sambil menenangkan diri dengan kata-kata seperti itu.
As he continues his story, the strange sounds persist. The disembodied female voice grows louder, but Elle continues to attribute it to villagers. Suddenly, something physically shakes his tent, causing a momentary disruption in his storytelling. Despite this clear sign that something is present, Elle does investigate immediately. After finishing his explanation of the site's history, Elle begins cooking his dinner, preparing a unique meal of sardines, noodles, and candy as a topping. After finishing his meal, it begins to rain, forcing Elle to take shelter in his tent. As he settles in, the mysterious presence approaches his tent. The CCTV he set up captures this movement, though Elle remains unaware as he tries to sleep. What happens next will send chills down your spine as Elle's camping experience takes a terrifying turn.
Saya itu dari tadi dengar suara seperti orang ngobrol gitu teman-teman. Makanya saya tadi langsung bangun, takutnya itu orang. Kalian dengar guys? Dari tadi itu suara seperti itu teman-teman. Orang tertawa, nyanyi, terus ngomong-ngomongan sendiri. Jangan-jangan mudik ya, itu bukan. Astaga. Suaranya dari arah sini guys. Atau bersemak bulat guys. Rasanya. Astagfirullahaladzim. Hei! Saya bukan hantu guys, kayaknya digigit teman-teman. Kayak orang ngomong-ngomong sendiri gitu loh guys.
While attempting to rest, Elle is suddenly awakened by disturbing sounds. The entity appears again, this time emerging from behind a tree, accompanied by the sound of eerie laughter. Disturbed by the persistent sounds, Elle finally decides to investigate their source. He exits his tent and searches the surrounding area with his flashlight, following the direction of the woman's laughter. Despite his thorough search, Elle finds nothing visible to explain the disturbance. In an attempt to rationalize his experience, he suggests that perhaps the sounds are coming from a person with mental illness wandering in the forest. What makes this encounter particularly unsettling is that despite clearly hearing these sounds, Elle notes that he doesn't feel the typical sense of dread he usually experiences during paranormal encounters. The white figure captured on camera, combined with the disembodied female voice, aligns perfectly with local legends about the woman who haunts this forest. Was this truly the spirit that locals have encountered for generations, or is there another explanation for the strange events of that night? The evidence is presented before you, but as always, the final judgment is left to you. Van life, where Dan shares what it's like living on the road with his dog Cassie. Most of the time, his videos are about freedom, quiet nights in nature, and the small joys of van life. But this trip, filmed in Colorado and uploaded on the 3rd of August 2023, took an unexpected turn. Dan's day started like any other, exploring scenic back roads and looking for the perfect spot to camp. It was the weekend, so he worried campsites might already be full. Luckily, he managed to find an empty spot tucked away by the trees, peaceful, quiet, and just remote enough to feel like a real escape.
So now I decide whether I'm just going to camp at this parking lot right here or if I'm going to drive further into the forest and look for a real campsite. It's tough because it's the weekend right now, so there's a very good chance that I won't find a campsite open. Here's the next camp spot. Oh, no one's here. Alright, I just scoped out our spot, and it is looking like it's a weird spot. I think I'm just going to land it right there. I could get all the way up in between those trees, but it's going to be more unlevel. So I think we're just going to land it right at the entrance there, and nobody will think that they're going to be pulling into the campsite either.
After dinner, Dan took Cassie on a short walk into the forest to get a better feel for the area. But what happened next shook him up.
Just check it out. Kind of cool right off the bat. Looks like horse poop. There's either a moose or a horse right outside of the van right now. And he just made a scary noise. Or a bear. Holy shit. There's a bear right outside the van. Hey, bear. He's huge. If I wouldn't have said something, he was gonna go in the van. If I wouldn't have hollered, "Hey bear," he was about to walk his way right into the van. Sit. Cassie, sit. Sit.
While he was only a short distance from the van, a bear wandered right up to it. Dan spotted it just in time and managed to scare it off before it could get too close. It was a tense moment, made worse by how easily it could have ended differently. The bear seemed more curious than aggressive, but still, it was a real reminder of how unpredictable nature can be. Dan stayed calm and kept Cassie safe, which likely prevented the situation from turning dangerous. The forest didn't feel quite so safe anymore, proof that no matter how peaceful a place might look, wildlife can always show up when you least expect it. It makes you wonder, would you have stayed calm like Dan did, or packed up and moved down? Phil's channel usually features POV-style videos of urban exploration and dramatic encounters, often involving rescues or confrontations. In this video, he's riding his ATV through the woods with his friend Jimmy. As they approach a small stream, Phil notices something unusual in the water and stops to investigate. He becomes curious about what's inside and decides to cross the stream to retrieve the container.
How do we get this? How do we open it? Open it.
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, oh, dude, easy, be careful with it.
It's heavy.
We don't know what's in it. It could be something dangerous. How are we gonna open it? I wanna know what's in it.
Bash it on some rocks or something.
Bash it against the rock? You wanna bash it against the rock?
Yeah. One.
Oh, don't, oh wait, alright, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna do anything. You should just beat the heck out of it. Maybe it will open. Oh, what the heck? I can't read it. I don't know how to read. Can you read it?
Yeah, I'll read it. With sadness, I'm writing this letter because I can no longer take care of her. I thought this could be the best way to give her a new life and home. Please take care of her.
Is it like a dog? It says it's a her.
The mysterious message on the container immediately raises questions about what or who might be inside. Phil and his friend initially speculate that it might be a dog, noting the air holes that would allow something to breathe. Unable to fully open the container, they secure it to the back of the ATV and head home. The journey back becomes tense as they encounter an angry woman who confronts them.
I'm going the speed limit.
No, you don't. No, I'm gonna call you parents.
My parents?
Yes.
For what?
You've been driving this all day long.
Why are you gonna call my mom? Please don't tell my mom. My mom's gonna spank me. Parents are gonna spank me if you do that.
Tell me, what are you doing here all day long?
Why do you care if I ride my quad on the road?
Because you can't drive in here. You have to go to the wood.
I try to. I mean, like, I'm just trying to get home right now.
Drive in the back. In the back, something. Maybe I want to look.
Why do you want? No, it's my box. You can't look inside of it. I'm gonna go.
Go.
I can't go down here.
No.
Why not?
Now you can go.
What are you doing? Whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't hit me with that. Are you crazy?
Go. This way. You have to go back.
But my house is that way. I have to go that way.
You can't go up there. You have to go back.
Phil refuses to let her see inside the box, which only increases the tension. The woman becomes increasingly hostile, eventually threatening Phil with a stick and forcing him to take a different route. After escaping the confrontation, they finally arrive at their destination. With the container safely secured, they prepare to open it completely. As Phil cuts the remaining ropes and opens the container, the video reaches its most disturbing moment. After the shocking discovery, Phil explains that he immediately contacted the police.
Pull it off. Let's see what's in here. What the? There's a baby in here? Wait, what are we gonna do with this? How is it?
Kind of cute.
Yeah, it's a cute baby. All right, let's take her out. Say here. It's okay. It's okay. Look, it's okay. She.
Can I grab her?
Yeah, grab her.
Sure.
Yeah, take her out. Take her out. It's okay.
Whoa. Hell?
What's wrong?
What is this? Oh my god.
Contacted the police, who were able to reunite the baby with her parents. He mentions that he was instructed not to record the phone call, which is why that portion isn't included in the video. The lack of police footage or official confirmation leaves some viewers questioning the authenticity of the encounter. The comments section reflects this skepticism, with some noting that a real toddler would likely not have remained quiet during such an ordeal. Whether this was a genuine rescue or a staged scenario, the video serves as a chilling reminder of the potential dangers facing vulnerable children. A group known for cleaning up underwater environments and searching for missing individuals was conducting a live stream during their usual routine when they stumbled upon something unusual.
Where a Mazda? Oh yeah, the Mazda 6. Here, you want to hold this? Yep, come on over. So make sure you go down around the axle right here. Good, like that.
That was your cue.
Oh, find anything good?
Because the camera's on now, yeah. Yeah, we found something good. We found a Mazda 6.
Here you go, Jared.
They discovered a car submerged underwater.
Alright, let's clean it out. There's a shoe in there. Whoa! Call the cops.
Somebody call him?
Yep, call them. Just got real quick. We're actually doing a live as we're pulling a body out. We're showing a little bit of the car, and there's a body inside of it. We've got Dave on the phone right now with the cops. We're pulling a plate number real quick.
Can you just wiggle the plate off, break it off?
Yeah, I tried.
Realize there was a body in the car before you got it out of the water, or was that discovered after you got it up the ramp?
We discovered that there was a body in the car after we were actually pulling it out. The water was coming out. We were actually on a live at the time, and that's when we recorded, but that's when we realized that there was a body in the car. Shut that live stream down right away.
What's it like for you guys, obviously?
As they started the recovery process and brought it to the surface, they stumbled upon an even more chilling discovery. After discovering a body, the divers promptly called the police, who quickly arrived at the scene, accompanied by news organizations eager to interview the divers. The deceased was later identified as 56-year-old Timothy Roberson, who had been missing for 12 years with no leads. Thankfully, his family found peace and relief after finally uncovering the truth. This is Corey, who in June 2020 uploaded a disturbing video titled Ritual Encounter in Backwoods to his channel. While his channel typically focuses on gaming content, this particular footage stands out as something entirely different and terrifying. The video begins with Corey venturing into what he describes as dangerous backwoods. Wearing his signature bandana, he explains he's heard stories about strange occurrences in these woods, but doesn't elaborate.
Been hearing stuff. I don't know. It's crazy. That's what we're working with tonight. Hear that? What the hell? Whoa. What the Y'all hear that?
As he hikes deeper, the atmosphere immediately feels tense. A minute into his exploration, the first signs of something unusual begin to manifest. What initially sounds like a cat meowing soon gives way to something far more disturbing. As he cautiously continues, the unmistakable sound of a woman crying emerges from the darkness ahead.
What the What the hell? Y'all seeing this? Y'all see this? What the hell is that? Hey, what's going on? Shit. Scratch this film.
As Corey moves forward, his flashlight reveals something that sends chills down his spine, and that's when things take a truly terrifying turn. In the beam of his flashlight, 3 figures become visible on the path ahead. Disturbingly, one of them appears to be holding a weapon. The scene has all the hallmarks of a ritual taking place deep in these isolated woods. In a moment of pure terror, Corey makes the immediate decision to flee. The light from his camera reveals glimpses of the disturbing scene, though he maintains enough composure to keep filming despite his obvious fear. What makes this encounter particularly chilling is the lack of explanation. We never get a clear view of what the ritual entailed or who was performing it. Was it something supernatural, a criminal act, or perhaps something even more sinister? The mystery remains unsolved. A Syrian civil defense worker was filming a live exploration video as he climbed into an abandoned well when he heard a sound that made him pause. He heard the faint voice of a little girl crying for help. Intrigued, he moved closer to find the source and was astonished to stumble upon one of the most terrifying discoveries of his life.
يلا يا عمو يلا يلا جيتك يا عمو جيتك جيتك حبيبتي جيتك تعي تعي حبيبتي تعي روح على البابا يلا يخف بيدك هاي طين هلا بنغسله نروح عند البابا مو شو اسمك انت يا حلوه؟ شو اخذوا لعبتك؟ هلا بجيب لك وحده بدالها. أسامة البنت طيبة هي يا اخو. ايه يخف تعي بجيب لك طلع تعي شوف ايدك شوف ايش ايدك وهو من هون لا تخافي نزل كبل
وصلك الكابل اخوي شوف أسامة يا رب
بس لا تخافي يا عمو لا تخافي حبيبتي لا تخافي يلا روحوا يا رب
شباب الاسعاف
ما بيشي
يا رب وصلك سندوا يلا
The young girl, later identified as 4-year-old Sumaya, was playing near her home when she fell into the hole. The rescue operation was dramatic, but thankfully she was brought out safe and unharmed. A group of teenagers decided to try the Randonautica app and live stream their adventure. The app directed them to a secluded beach where they stumbled upon a black suitcase. Initially they joked about it containing money, but soon they noticed a foul smell. Curiosity got the better of them, and they decided to open it, unaware that they were about to make one of the most terrifying discoveries of their lives.
A suitcase at the beach.
Gabby, go. I'll hold your stuff. I don't know.
Bro. Wait, open it.
Like, we're gonna find nothing.
Open it.
It was sweet.
It stinks, y'all.
It washed up. It's
Oh. Okay, so she's calling the police so we can see if it's actually a dead body or it's just food.
What do I found a suitcase on the
They discovered the suitcase contained human remains. This shocking discovery left the young streamers in disbelief.
Bags filled with human remains were found near the water on Alki Avenue this afternoon. Want to show you a look here at what's happening there. Police say they had received a call about a suspicious bag. They found more once arriving on the scene. You can see police out there right now, Harbor Patrol also helping out, and the King County Medical Examiner's Office.
As their initial plan was just to have a fun adventure. The deceased were later identified as 35-year-old Jessica Lewis and 27-year-old Austin Cash Wenner. Their family established a fundraiser offering a reward for information about the murders. In 2022, it was revealed that Lewis and Wenner were killed by their landlord, Michael Dudley, following a dispute over unpaid rent. Dudley was arrested and convicted of 2 counts of second-degree murder, receiving a sentence of 46 years. This was a terrifying discovery and a heartbreaking story. Emos is a Brazilian paranormal investigation channel that explores haunted locations, abandoned places, and mysterious encounters across the country. This time the team had adventured deep into a remote forest area far from civilization. With no cell phone service and thick vegetation that makes navigation nearly impossible, they were documenting their exploration when something completely unexpected happened.
Eu escutei um som.
Pera aí, vamos ficar em silêncio, rapaziada, pera aí.
Velho, eu socorro, mano.
Pera aí, Jefinho. Pera aí, vamos ver se a gente escuta de novo.
Cadê?
Oh, meu Deus do céu, velho, meu Deus. Meu Deus do céu.
Ou a gente vai atrás dessa mulher, ou a gente não vai.
Não, vamos se embrear na moto e vamos então.
Tu vai? Tem bateria pra continuar gravando aí?
Eu tô até com medo de gravar isso aí, Jefinho.
Como é que não?
E se for algum crime, a gente se envolve nisso aí, mano.
A gente já tá envolvido, mano.
Não,
a gente já tá envolvido.
Vamos tentar ajudar, mas eu acho que assim filmar,
a gente já tá envolvido.
Não, tem que
filmar. A filmagem é uma segurança pra nós, pô.
Prova, pô.
Smart thinking, because in situations like this, documentation could be the difference between helping someone and becoming suspects yourself. The search began with them calling out, trying to get the woman to respond so they could triangulate her location. But here's the thing about dense forests. Sound bounces around and pinpointing exactly where it's coming from becomes nearly impossible people. They decided to split up to cover more ground, which, let's be honest, goes against every horror movie rule ever written. But sometimes real life requires taking calculated risks. Then after what felt like an eternity of searching, they found something, a single shoe lying on the forest floor. That's when they knew they were close. And moments later, this happens.
Moça do céu! Meu Deus do céu, velho! Meu Deus do céu! Moça! Meu Deus! Calma! Moça, meu Deus do céu, cara! Tá amarrada! Calma! Cara, ajuda a desamarrar ela aqui!
Ô, Jota, ajuda a desamarrar ela, cara.
Ilumina aí, velho! Cara!
Deixa eu botar a câmera no chão aqui, cara.
Jota, desamarra ela aí, velho! Ajuda! Cara, calma, moça! Aqui! Solta ali, aqui! Solta aqui, velho!
Caramba, velho! O que aconteceu, moça?
O que você tá fazendo aqui, moça? Peraí, deixa eu soltar aqui! Aqui, ó!
O que aconteceu, moça?
A gente vai
Tava indo pro trabalho.
Calma! Que isso, velho? Caramba,
Eu pego cedo. Um cara apareceu armado.
Olha só, velho!
Um cara apareceu armado, ele me rendeu, ele tava armado, ele me trouxe pra cá.
Ele fez alguma coisa contigo? Moça?
Que hoje eu não ia ser útil, que ele ia voltar amanhã.
Caramba, velho, como assim? Calma, moça, calma.
The rescue was immediate. They quickly untied her while she's crying, clearly traumatized, telling them through tears what happened. She'd been waiting for the bus at 4:30 in the morning to go to work when a man approached her with a weapon. He forced her into this remote location, took her phone and bag, hit her in the neck, and left her tied up, telling her she wouldn't be useful yet and that he'd be back tomorrow. Think about that for a second. This woman had been tied up in the middle of a forest for almost 20 hours, with no food, no water, completely helpless, not knowing if she'd ever see her family again. If these guys hadn't been there that night, who knows what would have happened when her kidnapper returned. But here's the part that really gets chilling. While they're comforting Melissa and trying to get her ready to move, one of them notices something carved into the tree right next to where she was tied up. The letters L-E inside a heart, and below that the letter M, which happens to be the first letter of Melissa's name. The team had to find an easier route back to their vehicle, but when they tried to help her walk, it became clear that she couldn't make it on her own. Her legs were too weak from being tied up for so long, and she was barely conscious. That's when one of the team members made the decision to carry her on his back through the dense forest.
Só um pouquinho, porque a gente tá. Não precisa entender não, que eu não vou te soltar, tá bom? Só vou te agitar um pouquinho. Assim, pronto, fica tranquilo, pronto, assim. Fechou. Deixei na frente que vou abrir o carro lá. Meu Deus do céu, vem junto comigo aqui, Jota. Me ajuda aqui, cara. Ilumina lá pra ele, cara. Aqui, bota lá no carro aqui, Jefinho, aqui, ó.
When they finally reached their truck, the relief was overwhelming. They helped Melissa into the back seat, gave her water, and immediately started planning how to get her home safely. The team made sure to file a police report and provide all the evidence they had gathered, including the location of the tree carvings and the timeline of events. This story serves as a reminder that when you're exploring remote locations, you never know what you might encounter. Most of the time it's just wildlife or natural sounds, but occasionally you stumble into situations where someone's life hangs in the balance. Louise runs a channel focused on solo wilderness adventures and van life across the UK. She's someone who's spent countless nights alone in remote locations, comfortable with the sounds of nature and the solitude that comes with wild camping. But sometimes, even experienced campers encounter something that shakes them to their core. This time he decided on 2 nights of solitude camping in Daring Woods, located in the southeast of England, just outside a quiet little village called Pluckley. What she didn't know when she arrived was that she had just driven into the most haunted village in all of Britain. Louise arrives at the woods feeling optimistic, quickly setting up her hammock and tarp before the weather turns. She's got her routine down, chopping wood, getting a fire going, and settling in for what she expects to be a peaceful evening. But as darkness fell completely, the atmosphere in the woods began to change.
I don't know if you can see a Cadbury's Pot of Joy yogurt, basically chocolate yogurt. There is a lot of noises in these woods. Sounds like kids screaming. Is it a bird or is it kids screaming? That's a bird. That's a gunshot. I don't know if you'll be able to hear a lot of this, it's pretty distant, but it sounds like kids screaming. Honestly, I've never known a woods with so many strange noises. It's not just your normal birds and stuff and planes, there's a lot of planes. There's like this weird... Well, I don't really know how to describe it, but the hammock's really comfy, thank God, so I should sleep well, I would think. What was that noise?
Being an experienced camper, Louise knows the difference between normal woodland sounds and something else. But the real terror was yet to come.
Convinced there's been a person or persons. What the fuck? I've never wanted the morning to come as much as I do right now. Just the owls. I didn't want to turn the light on earlier because I swear to God that was footsteps. This is definitely the scariest night I've ever had in a tent.
I'm sure I can still hear footsteps.
When morning finally came, Louise reflected on what had happened. She was convinced that whatever had been walking around her campsite was human, not animal. Exhausted and shaken, Louise walks back to her van to grab some breakfast and check her phone. That's when she makes a discovery that changes everything. It turns out Pluckley Village holds the Guinness World Record for being the most haunted village in England, with between 12 and 14 known ghosts. The woods where Louise had camped are actually called Screaming Woods, a place where visitors regularly report hearing anguished screams coming from deep within the forest. During her exploration the next day, Louise made another eerie discovery. So what do you think happened in those woods?
There's camp way over there, and as I came around the corner when I was walking about last night, tell me that that doesn't look like a child's face or two children. So as I came round, I had my head torch on, and I walked like that, and literally just jumped out of me. Scary shit, that is.
So what do you think happened in those woods? Was it just Louise's imagination, influenced by the creepy atmosphere? Or is there something genuinely unexplained happening in England's most haunted forest? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Number 3. This terrifying video was uploaded on YouTube channel Sean SW. It starts off completely normal, just a guy running through the forest, occasionally passing other hikers on the trail. For the first half of the video, it's exactly what you'd expect from a trail running video. Beautiful scenery, the sound of footsteps on dirt paths, and the occasional coming up on your left thanks as he passes fellow hikers. But that peaceful run was about to take a very different turn. While he was focused on his pace, something else was focused on him.
Holy shit!
Sydney is an adventure woman who loves the wilderness so much that she left her entire life behind to start fresh in a camper van, exploring the country and camping in a new spot every day. She's been living this nomadic lifestyle since April 2024, documenting her solo adventures across America. This time she decided to return to a very special place, the exact same remote campsite in Tennessee, where she spent her very first night camping solo. After a grocery run and navigating those sketchy back roads, Sydney finally arrived at her destination.
This looks a lot different than the last time I came down here. Wait, was that? Oh, this is it. Okay, sweet. There's nobody here. I'm gonna get out and take a gander and make sure everything's like safe, and I might drive down there, but I might take the top spot too. I don't know yet. That's where my friend Grace camped when I was camping down here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna come down to this spot. I'm so glad it's open.
The plan was simple. Enjoy a quiet evening, cook some dinner, and relive that first solo camping experience. But sometimes the wilderness has other plans. She set up her usual routine, folding chair by the creek, laptop for some work, and eventually started preparing dinner on her portable stove. Now, if you've ever done solo camping, you know that moment when you're sitting in complete silence and suddenly become hyper aware of every single sound around you.
It's kind of odd sitting in silence here in the middle of the woods. It's like I don't usually like sitting in silence, especially outside, because then I actually can hear and I'm very conscious of like what's around me. But I haven't heard anything except acorns falling and leaves falling and fish coming up and eating bugs. It's quite nice actually. No Bigfoot so far.
That peaceful moment didn't last long because this is when things started to get creepy. While cooking her rice and chicken dinner, which by the way she'd already burned because, let's be honest, camp cooking is harder than it looks, something caught her attention.
What is that? What was that? Anyways, dinner is served. I really hope that wasn't like a mountain lion or something, but I'm not gonna let it scare me to stay in my car. I packed all my stuff up so that if I do need to like just close this, I only have this to move, but I heard it move too. It like moved from like there to over there.
So there she was, miles from civilization, down a one-lane dirt road, having just heard something unexplained moving around near her campsite. And what does she do? She sits down, opens her laptop, and tries to watch YouTube videos while eating her burnt dinner. That's either the calmest response to a potential wilderness encounter I've ever seen, or she was trying really hard not to panic. The footage ends the next morning with Sydney waking up safe and sound, but she never did figure out what made those sounds by the creek. Was it a mountain lion, a bear, or maybe, just maybe?
What if it was Bigfoot and that was like a deer that he was eating and it was like making noises because the deer is scared?
Now seriously, what do you think? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you've had similar experiences while camping alone, I'd love to hear about them. Mosagi runs a channel that's all about pushing boundaries, whether it's exploring abandoned buildings, camping in remote wilderness, or investigating paranormal hotspots. With nearly 3 million subscribers, Mo has built his reputation on going where others won't and staying when others would leave. But sometimes even the most experienced explorers encounter something that crosses every line. This particular adventure started innocently enough. Mo had gotten his hands on a new e-bike and wanted to test it out while scouting for the perfect wilderness camping spot. After hours of trail riding and testing his e-bike through puddles, snow patches and rough terrain, Mo couldn't find a suitable dry campsite in the new forest, so he made a decision that would change the entire tone of this adventure.
So I came back today to a place that you guys are all familiar with and you guys absolutely love. As you guys can see, there are no trails where I am. You might recognize this spot. And if you guessed the haunted doll forest, well, you guys are correct. The dolls are on the trees just down that way. Maybe I'll take you guys and show you. I always get lost in this forest, by the way. It's freaking creepy. Now, this is considered a very haunted forest, which is why I'm like, you know what? Why not come here and camp out by myself? Now, the only thing is I don't have a tent. I totally forgot that.
The setup seemed perfect. No tent, no problem. Mo decided to build a survival shelter using fallen branches and natural cover. The weather was mild, he had plenty of food to cook, and the creepy dolls hanging from the trees would just add to the atmosphere for a good video.
Whoa. What the fuck is that? Hello? Did that sound like a dog? Or was that a coyote? Like, I genuinely hate this place. Yeah, that just sounded like a dog or something. I wonder if like someone's out here and their dog got attacked or something. Anyways, look at this. So many of them. Terrifying. And maybe I shouldn't have even touched it with my bare hands. These are supposed to be cursed dolls. And I just touched it with my bare hands.
As daylight faded, Mo got his campfire going and started cooking his dinner, lamb skewers on a portable grill. That's when he visited by unexpected guest. A massive porcupine wandered into his campsite, seemingly attracted by the smell of cooking meat. For Mo, this was actually exciting. He'd never seen one in real life and was fascinated by the encounter. But while he was dealing with his dinner guest, something else was happening deeper in the forest east, something he wouldn't discover until much later. As night fell and temperatures dropped, Mo realized he needed more firewood to keep warm. Armed with just a flashlight, he ventured away from his shelter to collect larger pieces of wood. Then he saw something white between the trees.
There's a weird light back there. What is that? Must be a tower on the other side of, like, the forest. I don't see any logs. I just see a lot of, like, tiny still. What the fuck is that? Shh. What are you? Shh. Animal. There's something there. It's right there. It's white. Better not be another friggin' porcupine. Did they come in white, though? Thought I heard somebody. That's an animal. There's something there. It's not moving. Oh, what the fuck? Oh. Ew. Oh my god. What the fuck is that? Yeah, I just heard some coyotes. Oh, something smells really bad over there. Oh, what the fuck is this? Oh my god. No. Oh my god, no way. No. That's a dog. Oh my god, guys, somebody. What the fuck is that? Who would do such a fucking disgusting thing? Why would someone do that? Oh, you poor thing. Ew, it's missing its face. Oh, it's decapitated. What the fuck? No. Oh, I got blood on the stick. This is fucked up, man. Guys, I'm so sorry. This is fucked up. Oh my god. There's like dark blood on it. But then there's a head. That's disgusting. What the fuck, man? Why? Like, what would compel someone to do such a fucked up...
What made it even more disturbing was the realization that whoever did this had been in the same forest while Mo was there. The trails are far from where he was camping, meaning someone had deliberately gone deep into the woods to commit this act, and they had done it during the day while Mo was setting up his campsite just a short distance away. Without hesitation, Mo packed up his entire campsite and headed straight back to the parking lot. No investigation, no overnight camping, no testing his survival skills, just an immediate evacuation from what had become a crime scene. This video serves as a stark reminder that when you venture into truly remote wilderness areas, you're not just dealing with natural dangers like wildlife or weather. Sometimes you encounter evidence of human cruelty that's far more disturbing than any paranormal activity or abandoned building exploration. Now, what do you think happened in that forest? Was this random animal cruelty or something more organized? The fact that someone went so deep off the trails suggests this wasn't impulsive. Gary and Amika represent a father-daughter team from the UK who've transformed van life into their continuous expedition. Their channel documents the genuine connection between them, abundant with Amika's contagious laughter and Gary's watchful yet exploratory nature. This specific evening they were positioned at Tentsmuir Nature Reserve in Scotland. Darkness was approaching, but Gary and Amika chose to venture out for a brief evening jog along a forest pathway. While they were jogging down the forested track, they detected voices in the distance. Amika, being inherently inquisitive, questioned her father about the peculiar sounds they were detecting. However, nothing could have equipped them for what they were approaching to discover concealed deep within those Scottish forests.
We just heard some voices, and Amika was like, "What's that noise?" Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So
We just stopped and had a look in these woods. Look at how scary that is. Put the torch on. Whoa.
Look at that one. Mom's got red and black hair.
That is weird, isn't it? Look at them everywhere.
Eek.
Here's even one on the ladders.
Oh, there's someone lying on the ground. Without
Falling
any
over. Look at the one on the ladders going up the tree.
Oh, yeah, that's
What about the washing line over there to the left? Yeah, there. Keep it there. That is weird, isn't it?
one over there that isn't anything person. There's a doggy there. I don't know.
Owl in the tree. And there's a whole house there.
The whole house full of those.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the house. Come on.
Yeah. I love
Shine it.
these.
Shine it at the caravan.
Whoa. It's all about ladies, that one is.
It's an old house, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's a car.
All with them in.
Oh, there, man. Stop there. Yeah. What's the sign say?
Which sign?
There.
There.
Stop. The second best exotic COVID hotel. And there's the old car as well.
Many viewers are likely considering this was simply some variety of artistic installation or eccentric local attraction. However, here's the circumstance. Gary and Amika possessed absolutely no awareness this location existed. They were merely out for an evening jog in what they presumed was vacant woodland when they encountered this unusual scene. However, the mannequins were merely the commencement. As they proceeded further into this peculiar woodland setting, this occurs.
It's a huge place, isn't it? They've turned that one into a dinosaur, look. It's like a dragon. With sunglasses on. Are they?
What is this place?
I know, it's weird, isn't it?
Precisely as they were investigating this peculiar abandoned community, recording everything they could observe, a vehicle started approaching them, heading straight toward the residence.
There's a carpet in it there.
Cool though. Found it quite cool to look at. Right, this is where we paid to get in down here. Here, take this.
They're chasing each other. Yeah, swap.
Swap. Like I said, that was the weirdest thing I think I've ever seen. Right then, let's get out of here. I think that car is coming down here.
The timing appeared almost excessively perfect, wasn't it? They uncover this concealed, unsettling community in the middle of isolation, and precisely as they're attempting to determine what it represents, someone materializes. Therefore, what's your interpretation of what this location genuinely was? Was it an abandoned artistic installation that someone was still preserving? Some variety of private territory where the proprietor didn't welcome unexpected guests? Or was there something more threatening about this isolated woodland community with its unsettling mannequins and mysterious hotel signage? This unsettling recording was uploaded by YouTube channel Ray RLC, a channel committed to gathering and examining some of the most disturbing footage from the wilderness. This occasion, Ray discovered what appeared like the ideal location, a secluded deer pathway deep within the forest, distant from any primary hiking routes. He established both a trail camera and audio recording device, intending to document wildlife behavior overnight.
This is not going to be motion detected. The thing is, I have the trail cam directly on the trail. Trail cams do best at like an angle, not like this or like this, at an angle like this. When I have this going straight up, if something's coming right at me, sometimes the trail cam just doesn't want to move for it. And so in order to not risk that, instead I'm just going to do a time lapse. I think time lapses are more fun anyways. So we're going to get this going. I'll get that going, and I'll come pick these up tomorrow morning. Half an hour down the trail, I actually passed somebody. But see, the trail splits, and then this is just a deer trail. There's actually a moraine trail that some people hike. Just really hoping it didn't steal my stuff. Nope, didn't get stolen. It's still here. In the outer quarter, it looks like it turned off. That's okay. It just means the batteries died probably not long ago.
At his workspace, Ray uncovered his camera had documented more than merely the anticipated wildlife. The initial few recordings displayed deer, but subsequently circumstances became peculiar. Here represents the footage. Ray identified the individual's facial hair. It was the identical person he had confronted on the pathway that morning when collecting his equipment. Currently, could this individual have been searching for his cow and pig that evidently chose to take a midnight journey through the forest? Perhaps he was simply a genuinely committed farmer who takes his livestock recovery exceptionally seriously. I mean, we've all experienced that. Your farm animals escape, so naturally you grab an axe, remove your shirt, and commence crawling through the forest at 4 a.m., correct? However, in complete seriousness, the combination of the escaped farm animals and the mysterious axe-wielding individual raises more inquiries than explanations. What's your interpretation of what was genuinely transpiring here? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Heidi cherished the wilderness, the tranquil atmosphere, the whisper of vegetation, the excitement of the pursuit. However, that evening the forest wasn't serene, it was anticipating. She'd established her tent beneath a diminishing sunset, the woods silent except for the drone of insects. Subsequently came the sound, branches fracturing, weighty steps approaching.
You guys, that's insane. That thing was literally like nose to nose with me. And I freaked out and I said boo. Oh my gosh, that was so crazy. I saw him running from like so far away. He came literally straight to me. And my blind window is like all the way down. And he literally came and like looked in the window like at my face. And he was like making me this... I don't know what he was gonna do. I was so scared. I should have probably waited and just seen like what he was gonna do, but man, that was crazy. It's like the only thing I've seen so far, except a million squirrels, but that was crazy.
From amongst the vegetation, an enormous bear materialized, its eyes capturing the final light. It rushed forward, pulse accelerating, she screamed, pure survival instinct, and the creature halted, subsequently disappeared into the blackness. Throughout the entire night she remained wide awake beside the fire, gripping her rifle, comprehending nature doesn't consistently permit you to depart untouched. Evren and Sanem from Ramblesol represent a Turkish couple who've been camping collectively for over 15 years. Their channel is entirely about presenting the magnificence of the outdoors, from comfortable tent arrangements to picturesque lakeside expeditions. This occasion they're traveling to a spectacular isolated lake, organizing what should be an ideal 2-day camping retreat. The couple arrive at their selected location and instantly commence working, establishing camp. Everything's proceeding smoothly. They're inflating the tent, establishing their furniture, and arranging their equipment. The entire arrangement appears remarkably comfortable, like a residence away from residence. However, while they're occupied creating their ideal camping sanctuary, they possess no awareness that concealed in their electrical arrangement is a catastrophe anticipating occurrence. Once camp is established, they choose to take their inflatable vessel out on the lake for some angling. Following their fishing expedition, they return to shore as the sun begins descending.
Ne kadar güzel kaya bu. Mağara var.
Nerede? Ha, şu arada.
Geldi mi?
Küçük bir şey.
Allah Allah.
Küçük bir pörş muhtemelen. Kefa değilse.
Kefa.
Vay be.
Küçücük. Ay düşmesin buraya lütfen.
Yakaladım seni. Tamam ya, sağ ol canım, sağ ol canım.
Gitti mi? Aa. İyi misin? Durduğumuz yer çok tehlikeli.
Çok fena.
Vallahi çok fena.
Hadi çabuk bağla da gidelim.
Currently arrives the enjoyable component, preparing dinner. They establish their outdoor kitchen with a portable fire arrangement and choose to prepare kamper, which is essentially Turkish stuffed baked potatoes, alongside Russian salad. They complete their meal, clean up, and settle in for the evening. The tent is comfortable and warm thanks to their wood stove. What renders this even more severe is that they comprehend how substantially worse this could have been. If this had transpired during nighttime while they were sleeping, this account could have possessed a substantially different conclusion.
Oh. Oo. O ne
Aşkım.
ya?
Ya! Oh! Saçmalama! Dur!
Şunu al. Var içeride.
Oh!
Yanlış yandım. Şu arabanın anahtarı.
Ya patlar mı onlar?
Patlayacak bir şey yok. Çok yaklaşma. Tüpler patlayabilir.
Of ya!
Aklım gitti. Ağlamayalım. Daha kötü de olabilirdi. İçeride de olabilirdik. Ya böyle bir şey yok ya. Of. Ağlama. Ağlama. Ağlama yavrum, içeride olabilirdik. Gece de olabilirdi. Inverter yine takılıydı.
They succeeded in controlling the fire, but the destruction is completed. The rear section of their tent is entirely destroyed. The magnificent inflatable tent that was their pride and satisfaction is currently a burned out shell. While they commence assessing the destruction, Evren determines what triggered the fire. They possessed an inverter connected to their vehicle battery to supply power to some of their electronics, and evidently, following 5 years of utilization, it ultimately failed catastrophically. The inverter overheated and initiated the fire from the interior. They expend the remainder of the video cleaning up, packing what remains of their equipment and preparing to depart. This account is an ideal reminder of why you should consistently possess a fire extinguisher when camping, and why electrical equipment requires regular inspection and maintenance. However, more than that, it demonstrates how rapidly an ideal camping excursion could transform into a nightmare, and how crucial it is to remain composed and collaborate collectively when catastrophe strikes. Ellie is a woman who's transformed solo wilderness investigation into her lifestyle. She records everything from wild camping in isolated Scottish forests to investigating abandoned sites across the UK. She's the variety of individual who isn't intimidated to explore entirely secluded regions alone, equipped with nothing except her camera and an exploratory spirit. This specific expedition commenced as a simple evening hike and wild swim on Dartmoor.
But we're heading somewhere that I've never been to before, but I really wanted to check out this evening. I was really looking forward to a sunny evening with a potential sunset, and it's just gone incredibly grey. Perfect timing.
The objective was straightforward enough. Ellie had spotted the fog and tor quarries on her All Trails application, a region with reviews describing it as a very peculiar and cool looking location. She packed her swimming equipment and departed into the grey Dartmoor evening, anticipating to discover both a magnificent wild swim and potentially scout some wild camping locations for future expeditions. The hike itself commenced peacefully. Ellie navigated through muddy fields, crossed streams, and proceeded through what she enthusiastically described as marshy terrain. There were sheep dispersed around the ancient stone ruins, and she took caution not to disturb a mother with her lamb. The landscape possessed that characteristic Dartmoor sensation, vast, ancient, and slightly otherworldly with its scattered tors and stone formations. However, subsequently she discovered it, the concealed quarry.
I don't want to get kicked in the face by a sheep. Ooh. Yeah, this definitely looks quarry-like, doesn't it? I think we might be nearly there. Oh, you have... Oh. What a hidden gem. Yeah, I don't... Hello? Hello? Hello? Yeah, I don't think that there is anyone else here.
It appeared like the ideal wild swimming location, the variety of place that renders all the challenging navigation and muddy boots worthwhile. Ellie established her camera and commenced preparing for her swim, The water wasn't excessively cold, she observed, though she did reference the abundance of tadpoles and small lizard-type creatures sharing the water with her. Everything appeared perfectly normal for a remote wild swim, until it wasn't. That's when circumstances commenced becoming peculiar.
There's a really, really weird noise coming from up there. I don't know if someone's wild camping and pumping up something, because that's what I can hear. It sounds like that. Either that or it's extremely loud, heavy panting. God, I hope it's someone wild camping. Anyway, Dartmoor is like a military training base. They do a lot of training around here basically, so I had to check the times for when they were doing that. There's various areas on Dartmoor where you can wild camp, and this falls under one of the legal areas you can do it. Yeah, it was coming from up there. It is pretty eerie when you're on your own.
The sounds persisted as Ellie exited the water and commenced changing back into her dry clothing. This is when she was at her most vulnerable, alone, partially undressed, and unable to swiftly relocate if necessary. She kept referencing the sounds, evidently troubled by something she couldn't identify or pinpoint. Currently, could it have been military training exercises in the distance? Possibly, though Ellie had verified the schedules and was in a legal wild camping region. Could it have been animals? She initially contemplated this, but her reaction suggests she eliminated it. Could there have been another individual in the vicinity? Ellie certainly anticipated that was the circumstance when she detected the pumping sounds, but nobody ever materialized or made themselves recognized. What's evident is that whatever Ellie experienced at that quarry was substantial enough to make a seasoned solo explorer never desire to return. Claire is a total nature lover, a single mother, and a solitary camper. Usually her channel covers calm walks, tranquil evenings under the stars, and leisurely outdoor settings. But this time, everything seemed different.
Trying something a bit different today, so I'm going to be camping at a creepy church with a history of satanic ritual, witchcraft. So yeah, this is Wild Bear coming to you from Clop Hill. Woo! Satanic rituals. Over the years, people have dug up bones and all sorts from graves. There's been a murder down on the A6 known as the A6 murder. That's the road just over there, I believe. So yeah, lots has happened here, and understandably the church has been closed for overnight visitors, and there are cameras and alarms everywhere. So I've been up to have a look at the church, and I'm staying somewhere nearby where I feel like I won't be disturbed. Yeah, I like this little bit of woods. Don't think I'll be disturbed here. I'm gonna do a bivvy today, so really stay off. I've not got another shelter if it rains, just a bivvy, so I think it's going to be a nice night actually. Just got to wait around till it gets dark, see if there's any spooky noises tonight.
Halloween prompted her to choose to go a little darker. She set up camp surrounded by eerie tales, close to an old abandoned church. People discuss unusual symbols, satanic ceremonies, even a murder that occurred nearby.
Apart from some odd noises, I can't report of anything so far. While we're on the subject of weird stuff, there is a controversial video of what is claimed to be a ghost in St Mary's Church, taken in 2016, and it shows a black hooded figure walking past the door of the church. So if you Google Clop Hill Church monk ghost, I'm sure that will come up. And it's a really creepy video actually, but you know, that could quite easily have been staged. So, but for you guys that like the ghost stuff, have a look at that.
Indeed, even now, the start seems eerie already. Thanks to all the turmoil the church has seen over the years, it itself is locked tightly, alarms, cameras, the works. Thanks, Claire. Thus brought her bivvy right inside the surrounding forest, hoping for a calm evening. She began researching the local past while she waited for the sun to set. Let us also remark that it did not help her relax. Stories of bones being unearthed, close to historic cemeteries, whispers of ghostly entities seen late at night, and odd stories that have plagued this location for years.
How have I lost my bed?
Getting into a bivy bag is always such a graceful thing. So flumpy.
She looked about a little, picked some food, then slipped into her sleeping bag and attempted to unwind. But it occurred.
There's the moon. So pretty.
Good night, Wawas. See you in the morning.
See the red eyes over there? I'm just gonna assume they were deer eyes. Freaky.
I don't like the red eyes.
At that point, low, far-off sounds began to reverberate from the surrounding trees, distinctly weird, and subsequently she noticed something. 2 brilliant red eyes observing her from far into the forest, frozen. She attempted to understand it. Perhaps a deer, perhaps the light coming from her red headlamp, bouncing back. She spoke it aloud, attempted to remain composed. Even she, though, did not sound totally persuaded.
I keep telling myself it's just because I had my red light on my head torch, that's why the eyes look red. And if I had the white light on, they would have just been white, because they're just deer eyes.
Given those eyes, they failed to blink. Their movement lacked the typical of any animal. They observed simply, and whatever they were, she felt something she could not shake after they went. This next clip puts us right into Brazil's wild woodlands alongside Luca and Yuri from the channel Cazadores de Sombras. These two nowadays, they do not merely narrate ghost stories, they sprint straight ahead into them. They are well known for surpassing expectations, they pursue urban legends, visit haunted sites, and capture every spine-chilling second for their viewers. And in this incident, they were not isolated. They brought a few close friends along and ventured far into a forest, claimed to be home for something horrible, an animal like a werewolf. Those that live close claim that it only occurs after dark. They discuss brilliant eyes, a huge dark figure, and massive shadows with a presence so great it seems to vanish into thin air. The crew set up camp exactly in the middle of October 14th, 2021. Tonight it was quiet, almost too silent. Still something changed. They froze.
Olha lá, sai do cão. Não dá pra gravar, foi pra gravar, foi pra gravar. Tá fazendo melhor aí? Tá gravando? O que é? Vê o que é? É ele mesmo? É ele, velho. É ele? Coba. Oh, ele tem meio da roda. Que... Olha o tamanho disso. Ó, tá acompanhando, não dá pra tirar, né? Tá sem visão.
As they moved among the heavy trees, they observed it just for a moment. Between the branches, an outline, large and peculiar. One instant passed, then the next, not one step. Silence, just that intense sensation. Something was right there. Observation, and simply as such, the forest did not seem so vacant anymore. On January 24, 2025, originally a typical ghost search, it rapidly devolves into a terrifying and erratic sequence of events, anchored in recent frightening tales of ritual activity and enigmatic hooded people. The researchers, Susie and Sean, observe right away their discomfort, odd sounds, distant voices, and the strong sense of not being alone. Sean has visited several times. Susie is fresh to the area. This familiarity only heightens her anxiety as she relates earlier events and the site's ominous reputation. Susie and Sean start looking for signals of a presence as they enter. Faintish sounds, knocks, footsteps, far-off voices start resounding across the stone walls almost instantly. Some sounds are thundering, others are subdued.
Okay, so me and Sean are paranormal investigators and we're trying to prove that there's life after death. And we really want you to help us with that tonight. If you've done anything, thank you, but we do need confirmation that it's you. So if you could, bless you, if you could throw something again, really hard, it would help us know that you're here. Did it? What was that? Yeah, or glass, like a bit of glass being thrown, or tile, or. Can you be a bit louder?
Susie begs for a sign, which causes a loud bang. Close by, once they start looking for thrown objects, the sound is too intense to be unintentional, even if they find nothing obvious. Their demand for a whistle or another loud noise to verify the presence of a creature raises the suspense. Not too long later, glass-like clinks are heard, then whispering and inexplicable movement. Both researchers report a strong sense of anxiety, and Susie says she feels surrounded, watched over, or evaluated constantly. The tone gets deeper. When they find a lately used candle, they wonder whether it related to those numbers and consider whether they have inadvertently come onto something more profound and maybe hazardous. They saw a black creature crawling or crouched at one point, then later a form darts over another building's top story. Their cameras record motion they cannot explain, and they hear what sounds like human conversation, more especially female voices, even though they are alone in a remote area. Seeking to change the vibe, the pair proceeds to a second structure in the quarry.
Just do something nice and loud to let us know that you're here. Yeah. No. It's just some empty buildings. Like, why is it so nasty?
Time capsules that can have things connected to them all the time.
Yeah.
And yet I don't ever feel I've just literally seen something where I swear something just ran across and was up there.
Hello?
I'm seeing more in here than I did in that morning.
Yeah, you've seen, well, something's crouched down there, haven't you? And now something ran across up there.
It was actually a proper, it weren't an animal or anything, it was probably, it looked like it was going like that.
Like creeping across?
Yeah.
Well, it's not living, because that's not safe.
Even if the environment is calmer, they still perceive disturbing noises, including someone or something running. Notwithstanding these disruptions, they note that the mood is less repressive than the main structure, but the tranquility is fleeting. They choose to go back to the first building to check if the activity picks up once more.
With it not being constant, we decide though to brave it and go back into the other building that we started off in. We didn't last long.
Ooh, what?
Serious.
Hang on. What is that?
That's I can't say it because we're on our eye.
That's rope.
Yeah.
That's rope.
Put two and two together.
We need to go. No. Was that there when we came in?
I'm just going to put it on the line, guys. That's definitely what I think it is.
No. I don't even remember seeing that.
Just to let you guys know, that rope was there when we first came in. We just didn't spot it when we first came in, but I did go back onto my footage and saw that it was already there. But I will be returning because I did enjoy this investigation, and I'm going to go on a less windier night.
Their anxiety comes back as soon as they re-enter. This time they come upon something they had never seen before. A rope hanging ominously from a beam. The weight of their circumstances strikes at the same instant. This could be more than a haunting. Sean's voice sharpens and Susie instantly begs they go, seeing the rope as a terrible emblem, maybe placed behind by the hooded figures. Susie later verifies from video that the rope had been there from the start, but was missed. Still, the psychological effects of knowing what it could represent are indisputable. The reference to sacrifice, first thrown around half-jokingly, seems far-fetched. The team is rocked but resolved at the conclusion of the probe. Susie says she wants to go back, but only in calm weather. They record a spectrum of events on the video: responsive knocks, murmured words, thrown objects, dark forms, and the frightening implication of ritualistic intent. This site is haunted not only by spirits but also by the sensation that something darker has been awakened and might still be observing. The low hum of a Jeep's engine isn't just noise, it's a heartbeat. For Victoria Rose, it was the pulse of her freedom, a symbol of independence and defiance against everything ordinary. Her life on the road, shared through her channel, was built around solitude, courage, and the thrill of surviving off the grid. Her Jeep, affectionately called the Jurassic Jeep, was more than a vehicle, it was a lifeline. It carried her through the wild, over back roads and into the quiet corners of the world where civilization fades and nature whispers secrets. On August 13th, 2023, Victoria found herself in the dense woods of upstate New York. It was everything she'd been searching for: tranquil, secluded, the kind of silence that feels alive.
So we've made it. I wasn't sure. I haven't, like I said, I've never tried to find free camping around these parts, and it is a little different than it is in the West. In the West, there's so much land where you can find very remote places. Like there's like park rangers and stuff everywhere, and just smaller areas, so I feel like a little bit more, less free, but it's camping. The bugs, I forgot about that. I already got bit by one, and I usually don't. Fortunately, I think I have some bug spray, so let's check. This is a really nice area, but it's Chautauqua National Forest in New York.
I added my sleeping bag underneath the bed to make it more comfortable, and this huge comforter that I got.
She set up camp beneath a canopy of trees, her headlights dimming as the forest swallowed the last traces of day. Night fell heavy, crickets sang, the forest exhaled, and for a while peace seemed absolute. Then at 1:18 p.m., that peace shattered.
You guys gonna kick me out of this spot? Are you guys gonna move your truck so I can at least leave? You gonna move your truck so I can leave? Huh? Well, it's kind of weird that I was put. Well, I am. We'll not have to like leave because there's no way I can sleep like this. Can you at least ask, like, or say excuse me or something? Like, I was camped here.
We didn't know there was anybody in there.
Right, but can you like say like, yeah, but it's just common courtesy to say sorry. I didn't realize. Is it okay if we camp here? But it's like this is the spot that I got. It's just strange. It's rude. I don't know where to go or what to do.
The silence was ripped apart by the roar of a massive pickup truck barreling down the dirt road. Its headlights blazed through the trees like a predator's eyes, flooding her campsite with harsh white light. At first, Victoria assumed it would pass by, but it didn't. The truck stopped, its engine idled, loud, deliberate, invasive. Then came voices, a family by the sound of it, adults and children. They began unloading gear right next to her Jeep, laughing, talking, completely oblivious, or maybe indifferent, to the fact that they were blocking her in. The forest, once her sanctuary, now felt suffocating. Every instinct screamed that something wasn't right. Victoria stepped out, her heart pounding beneath her flashlight's shaky beam. "Excuse me," she called out, voice tight with disbelief. But they ignored her. The parents went on setting up as if she didn't exist. It wasn't just rude, it was threatening. The presence of children made confrontation even stranger, almost surreal. Who brings kids out here at 1 a.m? Why here when there's so much space elsewhere? Her mind raced through possibilities. Was this just a reckless family or something else? A setup, a test? She couldn't know. But what she did know was that she wasn't safe. Exhausted and cornered, she faced a terrible choice. Stay and risk whatever this was, or drive through the darkness running on adrenaline and fear.
It's like 2 a.m. This is strange. I've never had this happen out in the West. Off-road lights? What? Up. Oh, I'm so tired. There's gonna be some lines, but hate driving at night, especially when this time. It's like really 3 a.m. It was so weird situation. I didn't know what to do. Like what you do infiltrating. It's so loud too. I was just gonna drive to a rest stop. I didn't want to make a big deal because there was kids. It's so rude. Like they're so rude, and they're just like not looking at me, acting like I wasn't even there, and I was standing there, like, hey, can you at least say excuse me, or can you say sorry, or can you at least ask me for the campsite, even though like that's rude in itself. Like it's 2 a.m. The camping culture in the West versus the East is so much different.
She chose to leave. "I didn't want to make a big deal because there were kids," she said later. But it was so rude, so wrong. As she drove away, headlights cut through the misty forest roads. Her reflection flickering in the windshield, tired, angry, shaken. By dawn, she realized something deeper. Not every danger in the wild comes with claws or fangs. Sometimes it wears a friendly smile and parks too close. That night changed the way she saw the road. Out here, isolation can be peace, or it can be a trap. And sometimes you don't know which until it's too late. Natasha, host of the Quest Out West YouTube channel, posted a very intimate and anxiety-ridden trip into the British Columbia wilderness on April 11, 2023. One that started with hopeful ambition and finished in fear, loneliness, and a humble re-evaluation of single life. Living full-time in a Dodge Grand Caravan with her 3 dogs, Natasha left in quest of a free camping area outside of Squamish. After building up supplies, she followed a GPS path to a site she discovered on the app iOverlander. The temperature was at last warm enough for exploration, but what started out as a normal journey soon became far more unsettling.
I'm starting to get a little nervous because we seem to be driving out a lot further than I anticipated. I'm following my GPS that's guiding me to a place that I saw on iOverlander. Feels like we're just driving forever into the abyss, and yep, I'm a little nervous. We just turned off the highway. This is where we are, and there are people here, so I know that I won't die. That's good.
Natasha got more nervous as she kept moving further away from the main route. The road grew smaller, the ground grew rougher, and the surroundings grew more isolated. Full-blown fear was set off when a precipitous drop-off along a cliffside trail left no space for a turnaround. Around her van, poorly suited for rough terrain, started sliding downhill. Terrified, she turned away the effort and chose to go back to Cat Lake, a more known and reachable place. Natasha's nervousness persisted even after parking in what looked to be a safe spot, close to a fork in the road.
I'm stunned and stressed out at the same time. Check this out. That is stunning. But at the same time, I'm concerned that in the middle of the night that we're gonna accidentally roll down the hill or something. Or maybe even just get hit by somebody else coming down this road. And I'm scared to go further in because I don't know if this car can handle these roads. So this is where we are. We're gonna stay here and have dinner and then figure out the next step. I'm a little close to the road, but I was also afraid while I was parking that I was gonna like either drive off the cliff or get stuck in a pothole or something. All of these things would not be good. Is that a crashed plane? I don't think it's a plane, but it might be a crashed RV. Somebody that actually did go off this edge. So it's an authentic.
She was on edge because of the disturbing topography, the presence of abandoned vehicles, maybe including a crashed RV, and the uncertainty over whether she was in a legitimate camping area. Her anxiety was not unfounded. She wondered if the previous car she saw had indeed gone off the edge.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Is that supposed to be a bird? Because it sounds like the predator. I truly don't feel safe here. I'm slowly taking things out of the van because I'm trying to find something to prop up the camp stove with, because this is going to hang off the side if I put them here. And as I'm doing this, I realize how I'm becoming increasingly more vulnerable as I take stuff out of the van. It's not like I could just slam the door shut and take off, because I gotta put all this stuff back in the van. And then I'm hearing this weird ass sound from the woods. Okay, there are people coming. Either they're coming to give me company or to kill me. We're gonna find out. Stay tuned. So they didn't kill me, but they didn't stay. They all went up that road that I was afraid to go up. Good news is, I think I figured out the camp stove thing. I think we're gonna do this. I think this works.
A fresh layer of anxiety surfaced as she started to set up her camp stove on top of her cat carriers in an effort to maximize resources. Oddly human noises came from the wilderness. Natasha froze in her tracks, high-pitched and strange like the Predator movie creature. She felt nothing safe. Then there was the sound of people walking toward her. Her instincts for fight or flight took hold. Fortunately, the folks passed her without incident, headed up the same deactivated route she had previously been too scared to travel. But their presence only heightened her anxiety alone and growing more sensitive. Natasha battled the need to pack everything under, run away. While making a small dinner, her imagination fixed on the worst-case scenarios, sliding down a cliff, getting caught in the mud, running across wild animals, or mechanical trouble in a location where cell servant was erratic and help far off. She even questioned the romance around wild camping. What had appeared like a fantasy of rediscovering nature had transformed into a night of terror.
I started driving. The sign in front of me told me that I can't turn left, so I turned right. And it's pitch black, no lights on the side of the road. I have trouble seeing at night. I really don't like driving at night. And then I start realizing there's nowhere to pull off and nowhere to turn around for like forever, and I'm possibly going to end up in Whistler. Then on top of it, a truck starts driving behind me, really right up on my butt, like tailgating me, and with his high beams on or whatever, and he's doing it on purpose. And I'm going like 85 in a 90. It's not like I'm going too slow. I'm just going too slow for him. And I saw a turnoff for a lookout, but he was right on my ass. I couldn't even slow down, so he almost ran me off the road, and there was nothing else I could do.
In fact, Natasha gave up on her intention to sleep at the far-off location as darkness descended. Every stir in the forest sounded like a threat. Shoving everything back into the van quickly, she hurried to tidy. The last drive into the evening turned out to be equally terrifying. She worried about getting run off the road as she couldn't see clearly, and with a tailgate truck angrily riding her bumper. At last she arrived at a known Walmart parking lot, her nighttime refuge. She would not tell exactly what she did upon arriving, but the connotation was obvious. Now safety, not adventure, took front stage, weary and emotionally spent. Natasha finished the day, not sure whether she will try another outdoor solo camp anytime soon. The drive had presented her with only reminders of the dangers inherent in trusting instinct over infrastructure and to solitude over help, not with tranquility.
Hey everyone, we've been in Canada exploring beautiful British Columbia now for a couple of days on our way up to the Stewart-Cassiar Highway to start our journey up to Alaska. Between where we are right now and the start of the Cassiar, we have several hundred miles, and we really don't know much about the area. It's so big and so vast, and there's just a ton of different options. So we decided it might be fun to ask AI or ChatGPT where to go.
Having seasoned van lifers since 2024, the pair left over control of their plan to the AI, asking it for picturesque drives, free campsites, pet-friendly hikes, and of course, a spot to discover Canada's best poutine. Barron Lake Provincial Park was the first advised stop, but events did not go as expected. Arriving, the park seemed closed, with signs indicating it was out of season and under road repair. No rangers, no other campers, no one else around, even if the surroundings were lovely. The site's emptiness made it seem more abandoned than peaceful. This turned into the first red flag on their AI-guided trip. A crucial error, the campground not being free as asked or even open for the season. Not deterred, they looked for a different place using a reliable camping app called Campendium and came upon a remote BC leisure area beside a creek. It was quiet, calm and lovely.
Unfortunately, that other site didn't pan out that ChatGPT recommended. Not only was it not free, it was 18 Canadian dollars per night. It was also not open yet for the season, and it was over an hour out of the way, so definitely not along the route. So when that didn't pan out, I did some research on one of my favorite apps to use for finding free campsites in Canada. That is Campendium, and came across this recreation site, which is amazing. We're excited to stay here for the evening. You may be wondering why we didn't do this research ourselves to begin with, but it's kind of just like an experiment to see where ChatGPT is going to lead us. And I think that's half of the fun. Hopefully tomorrow we have a little bit better luck.
Initially, they observed evidence of local fauna, including fresh beaver marks on surrounding trees, setting up a trail camera and settling up for a night of cooking and leisure. They hoped to catch the beavers in action. What really made this vacation strange and unforgettable?
Got our first knock.
First knock.
5 o'clock. Why did he want?
He wanted to know what time it was.
Why?
Hey, I don't know if that's really what he wanted, but that's all he's gonna get.
What does he want? It's only 5:30 in the morning.
I don't think he really knows what's going on. Looks a little lost. There's a tent over here now that wasn't here when we went to bed. He just looks really confused.
The following morning, someone knocked on their van door for about 5 in the morning. This was not another camper, nor a ranger, disoriented and without a phone. This man asked the time. They had not spotted his tent the night before, yet now it was suddenly there, thrown up close, and caused major questions. Emily was obviously disturbed while Brian tried to remain cool and reasoned that the man might have been dumped off following a protracted night out. They chose not to participate, beyond the quick exchange confining themselves in the van and monitoring their surroundings, until they decided to leave the trail cam. Did definitely show the man coming out of his tent strolling to their van, apparently verifying he was simply lost and confused. Still, there was anxiety and discomfort.
All right, well,
everything worked out.
Let's try and find this restaurant that has been recommended by ChatGPT on our little ChatGPT field trip that we're on. I tried to look it up. It's called Majestic Restaurant Ltd. here in Houston on Highway 16. And I couldn't find anything about it except for a very old yellow page listing. So I'm skeptical that this restaurant is still
a restaurant.
A restaurant, but let's go find out.
All right,
let's see.
So, if there was a Majestic restaurant, there is a hotel over here. Maybe it was part of that hotel at one point. It looks very unused, and I don't think that is going to be the best poutine on our route by any means, even if it was there. It's in a hotel.
Agree.
So I think we need to do ourselves a favor and manually type in to Google.
When the couple turned over their travel schedule to an artificial intelligence, this was not the kind of interaction they had imagined. Tension notwithstanding, they proceeded to Burns Lake, the next AI suggested location. Once more, though, they turned to human intuition and real-time research to locate a suitable spot. ChatGPT lacked local understanding, current information, and nuance, even if it provided broad direction. Another poutine stop it advised proved to be a long-gone listing discovered only in ancient Yellow Page data. On their own, they finally came upon better choices. Ultimately, the AI-driven travel attempt was more of a warning story than a breakthrough. Absolutely. It brought them to several picturesque locations and unannounced sightings of animals, 6 moose along with a black bear. It also made clear how much technology still lacks in terms of precision, safety, and human intuition. What impression of this meeting did you have? Tell me kindly. The forest hides more than just trees, and sometimes it's better not to know what's watching you. Whoa, you made it through. If that sent even a shiver down your spine, Smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next one. And check out the video on your screen right now. More forest terror, more real chills waiting. Thanks for watching, and remember, the woods never forget. Until next time, stay scared.